Okay, so what the heck is going on in the GTA housing market? We got inflation numbers that just came in. Things seem to be sitting on the market forever and ever. Buyers are sitting on their hands. The market's supposed to be plummeting down, or at least the sales are supposed to be plummeting, falling down, falling off a cliff. All this stuff that you might hear in the news, and a lot of people have absolutely no idea what's going on. So listen, guys, let's stay tuned here. In this particular update, we're going to be covering some really important things, and I know I always say that every time. But specifically, there's a 60 to 90 day window for buyers. There's something very specific for sellers. As a matter of fact, let me get this off right here. So officially, beautiful people, welcome to the November 2023 GTA housing market update. As you can see here, 3 points when you're covering, including inflation, including what's actually going to happen to the prices and what's going to happen with the interest rates. So at the moment, market seems painfully slow. Prices are strong. Sales are down. I'm going to explain to you just how far they're down. You'll be actually surprised. You'll honestly be surprised how they're not really down. My frustrations with buyers continue. And buyers, you've got a 60 to 90 day window. I'm going to explain why that is in just a little bit. And of course, sellers, seriously, whether you're listed with me or not a problem. Sellers, an important note that you'll want to hear. Just a kind of a full disclosure. It might not be about the price. Okay, so stay tuned. But first, as always, my intent is to provide value. I don't get anything from this. Some of people have contacted me, or some of you might actually already be listed with somebody else. I get nothing for telling you information except that the knowledge that you guys will have the truth on your side, and you actually know what the next steps are. And of course, it's valuable information, meaning that you were not going to find this elsewhere. I try to find this information in magazines, articles, news, and those kind of things. And those things are always so slanted. And if I give you the numbers, I know for a fact that you smart people are going to know what to do with the numbers. You know, the numbers are in your hands. You get to do what you want with them, but at least you have the truth. So first things first, inflation. And of course, just like that, everyone became an economist. Before this, we were, German disease specialists. And prior to that, we were politician specialists. You know how it is. Every few years, it's something different. So now we're all economists. But, let me throw on that hat real quick. Let's talk about inflation. This is U.S. Very good source of information right here. But what the U.S. did, U.S. numbers are actually lower than the U.S. Government, or the U.S. bank, the Fed, was anticipating, which is a good sign. Always a good sign for us to keep in mind. And of course, Canadian numbers are anticipated to follow suit. This source says, and I happen to agree with them. However, important, Bank of Canada, here right in the middle, recently made a statement cautioning against the decrease of interest rates. Now, they have to say that. And notice the source actually mentioned this. It's a real estate investor source. And this is a tool to influence consumer behavior without actually enacting policies. That happens all the time. If you guys have noticed, if you guys listen to my updates on a monthly basis, you'll notice that quite often, especially last year and the past couple of years, the government will say things, they actually won't do anything, but the saying of things will change the psychology of the buyer or the seller. In this case, we're trying to constantly keep demand down. And so they do things to influence consumer behavior without actually doing something. Now, you guys follow this, so that probably won't affect you. Let me get back to this real quick. So Canada, inflation rate actually fell to 3.1. We got the numbers end of November now, from October, obviously, last month. And then significantly down. We were 3.8 before in September. October, we were 3.1, which is amazing. It's great. It's wonderful. Keep in mind that interest rates they're trying to tie interest rates to inflation. That is still a thing, although they're trying to pull away from that a little bit, because interest rates are included in the algorithm for the CPI, the algorithm for inflation. So when interest rates go up, unfortunately, kind of defeats the purpose, also inflation goes up because they're a part of that. Mortgage interest payments are a part of that algorithm, part of that, the sum total that is calculated when they're looking at CPI, when they're looking at inflation numbers. So one, Benjamin Tell, head economist of CIBC, actually mentioned recently, this is really important, you hear this, if you actually take mortgage interest out of that calculation, we're actually much closer to 2% in terms of inflation than even 3.1. That's actually really good. So a lot of the issues you might hear about, retail stores telling you, we still have shipping issues. We still have a hard time getting materials. In reality, most of that is actually not true. A lot of companies are still right now. I can vouch for that, especially in the contracting business, in the construction business. A lot of companies are just still gouging, because there's still mentality still during the COVID lockdown times, when in reality we're open now. And frankly, some of those prices should be going down. Some of you in the contracting business, some of you in construction, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So good news, inflation way down 3.1. Let's look at it in total. So here we go. So right now, 3.1. The height was 8.1 in, June of 2022 last year. And look at the averages. And now we're still missing November and December for this year, obviously. But the average so far is just over 4%. And again, I keep it with a grain of salt. I just talked to you about the mortgage interest payments. But significantly lower. In fact, lower than last year, just slightly above 2021. And in fact, by the end of this year, I'm sure we'll probably be around the same numbers on average as 2021. So when interest rates were incredibly low, by the way. The point being here, look at the theme. Great news, great news. Now, is that going to bring interest rates up? I highly doubt it. Slight type possibility. More than likely, it's going to be a drop in interest rates probably first or second quarter of next year. So again, I'm going to be messing with buyers a little bit here. What do you guys think is going to happen with the market when interest rates go down? Which everybody says inevitably they're going to go. Prices will go up more significantly than they have been going now. And certainly there's going to be huge buyer demand because of the huge supply surplus, the pent-up demand that is currently available. Now, look at the numbers. I want to show you guys what the numbers are. Look at this. These are the numbers from last month compared to October of 2022. And of course, we have the month-to-month. So the big thing is in the red, here's homes sold. Now, you have heard, I've seen it in articles, I've seen it in magazines, newspapers. I think Toronto Star had something. Plummeting, sales are plummeting, da-da-da. In reality, look, less than 6% difference, October of this year to October of 2022. Admittedly, October of 2022, bit of a slow month. Still, look at this. It's only a 6% difference. Is that plummeting, honestly? Now, it feels really slow. I've got listings out there. I've got sellers out there. I know what's going on. And it is slow. I've talked to a lot of realtors that have more listings, 12, 13, 14 listings out there, and it's slow. Not as many showings. The seller's wondering what's going on. Days on market, look at the blue circle there. Days on market right now is about 32 days, over a month. By the way, sellers, if your house is on the market, you're panicking, your realtor's starting to panic, you only have been in the house a month, you're only on average. Average, meaning that there's some lower and there's some higher. Now, why does it seem really, really slow when the sales are actually only down about 6%? Because if you look at the second green circle on there, you see active listings. Active listings in October were almost 20,000. In the beginning of November, we actually got over 20,000 active listings. Right now, towards the end of November, we're more back to about 19,000, give or take. Some are sold, some are just taken off the market because the holiday's coming up and they haven't sold. The point being, if your sales are down a little bit, but your inventory is up 50%, what do you think it's going to feel like? It's going to feel like a slow time. Now, let me get back to the buyers. Buyers. You have 50% extra inventory and sales are down a little bit. What do you think is happening on the buy side? Less competition, more inventory. And prices are still up 3.5%, by the way. So that's typical of the strong, resilient GTA housing market, but still up 3.5%. Not 10, not 15, not 20%. Not like what's been happening in the past few years. The point being, such an opportunity. Buyers, you got about a 60 to 90 day window. Why that? Because in about 90 days, you're in the spring market of 2024. And eventually, the spring market is always busy. It was even this year. And this pent-up demand is going to go at some point in time. See, what's going to happen is this inventory is not going to be as high probably next year. You know why? Because sellers are going to say, look, the homes aren't selling as fast as I would like. I'm going to wait till later. And enough sellers pull their homes off the market or just don't relist next year or don't list next year. Inventory is going to go down. Demand's going to increase, certainly. And if the interest rates go down, there's going to be even more demand. So what's going to happen then? Buyers, what do you think is going to happen? Less inventory, a lot more competition. The opposite of what's happening right now, and hence the amazing, amazing opportunity you guys have. Month over month, if you look on the right there, it's just up, 0.02%. So in essence, August was a slow month. September, usually more sales than August, was actually still slower than August. And October is only pretty much the same as September, really. So it's been slow. It's been slow, generally speaking, but not crazy slow, not plummeting. It's just that the inventory is high and it feels like it. So sellers, very important. Look at this. Look at the average price. The reason you're not having showings, the reason you're sitting on the market longer is just because of that. The demand has been artificially squashed. Not only that, there's a lot of competition. And so sales in general are lower. That's why. So one thing I'll tell you, an interesting little story. Well, as an example, I looked in the city of Ajax. Ajax is a small town, some of you know, on the east side of the GTA. I use it as an example because it's a small town. It's easy to kind of know the numbers are. And there are homes all from luxury down to the townhomes, condo apartments, those kinds of things. I was looking at homes over 2 million, between 2 and 3 million. I was looking at homes in the high ones, the mid ones, the low ones. And I noticed an interesting thing. All of them were sitting on the market for a while. With a few specific exceptions, because that always happens in real estate, there are always exceptions. All of them were sitting on the market for a long time. Now,
if several different price ranges are all sitting in for a while on the market without too many showings, without too many offers, what does that tell you? Is it the price? Is it really the price? No, it's demand. So if you're on the market right now, again, I have nothing to gain by telling you this because you're probably listed with somebody else. Stick tight. If you have to sell, try to buy in the same market, that kind of thing, okay, you can still win. Think about the equity you've made over the past few years. Absolutely. Hopefully that encourages you. I love encouraging people, especially people, sellers at this time, which need a little bit of encouragement. But also, you should have a listing agent on your side telling you, you know what, maybe it's a price, let's check. But in reality, it might not be the price. It just might be bad timing right now. With less buyers out there looking, it's a situational thing versus a price-related thing. Keep that in mind, because I've seen already, unfortunately, this month, some folks, sellers, I'll use the phrase, giving their home away. They're not actually giving it away, but they're selling it at a price that they don't need to. Why are they doing that? Because they think, they don't have this information, obviously. They don't watch my updates. They think that they need to do this in order to be able to sell. In reality, they could wait maybe till the next spring market, maybe another month or two. Maybe just give it a little more time for buyers to come in and actually get what they want for their house. So keep that in mind. There are exceptions, but that's an important thing for sellers to keep in mind. Next. Summary. Buyers. Please note. Everyone says the rates will drop sometime in the next few months. Maybe even December. Small number of things in December. Probably not, but it might happen. First, second quarter of next year, a lot of people are saying that. What's going to happen in the market? Seriously. So far, look how slow things have been. People are saying it's plummeting. It's not. You saw the numbers, but they're saying it's plummeting. What is actually happening in the market? Prices are still up on average. Still up on average. It's unbelievable. So prices have maintained, and the market has been moving like molasses. So what does that tell you about the possibility of prices still going down? Significantly? I don't think so. I know areas that are still getting multiple offers, certainly more so in the city of Toronto. Buyers, please take note. Honestly, I'm trying to be as friendly as possible here to you guys. If you're waiting for a deal, you got 60 to 90 days to get a great deal right now. There are sellers right now. Look at my bottom line. Sellers want to sell. Many of them. Help them. Buy their house. Buy their condo. Seriously, it's a win-win situation. They're happy to do it. They're flexible. They're flexible on price. They're flexible on conditions. All those things. You're not taking advantage. You're actually helping somebody in a position where they actually want to sell. Again, sellers, be careful. Don't let anyone take advantage of you. Instead, if somebody comes with a fair offer, be flexible. Be flexible on conditions. Be flexible on closing time. Those kinds of things. Buyers, honestly, you got such an opportunity right now. And I know people complain about the GTA. It's unaffordable, these things. Look, I understand things are expensive. That's a GTA. It's always going to be that way. But once in a while, you have opportunities. Beginning of this year was kind of like that. Right now, it's more so like that. You can get something for a great price, especially if you're moving up your home or a condo at a lower price, probably sell much faster. So it's almost built in. Guys, take advantage. Buyers, you don't think so? You have questions? You're not sure what to do, what the next steps are? I can walk you through the whole process. Click at the bottom of the link, the YouTube thing, and you'll see a link to Calendly. 15 minutes with me. I promise that's all you need. I'll give you a whole walkthrough of the buying process. Next. Sellers. Demand is temporarily weak. Temporarily. It's almost artificially weak. Everything possible has been done to minimize and to kind of screw you over, quite frankly. Forgive me the phrase. But prices are maintaining. Thank God. It's awesome. It's an amazing, resilient GTA housing market. If you're thinking of selling, make sure your exposure is maximum. Please, for the love of... No more cell phone photos. Look at MLS. You'll find photos. You can see the guy taking the photo in the picture. Seriously, that's professionalism? Your highest investment you're going to give to somebody who does it on a cell phone? Come on. So, hint, realtors are really, really important right now. I know some of you, well, most of you, if you're watching this, hopefully you think value this, and maybe you think I'm a professional who knows what they're doing. But realtors are not always seen that way. And sometimes you say, whatever, anybody's a realtor, blah, 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 they don't know anything. In reality, the realtor's importance is very high right now. How we market, how much exposure there is. What lengths are we willing to go to get your house sold? Open houses, going out door knocking, those kinds of things. That's the market right now. The people who are working, the people who are willing to work, realtors who are willing to work, they're doing okay right now. Others, honestly, the lazy ones who are just getting the listings in because they have so many cousins that are happy to list with them for whatever discount price back when it was really crazy in the beginning of 2022. Yeah, those guys did not have a very good year. As always, you have to know your numbers, dear sellers. Know your numbers. Know your numbers. Have a strategy. Have the whole thing. I can send you an article about downsizing or upsizing, what numbers you should know about where you're going, where you're at, and that kind of thing. And again, I'm telling you, stop giving away your homes. It's probably not the price. Sometimes it is. There are exceptions, but possibly, quite possibly, it's not the price. It's just this temporarily weak, artificially weak demand. So guys, as always, I'll see you in December. Try to provide valuable information for you guys. This is big stuff. If you have questions, maybe you disagree, feel free to comment. I actually check the comments sometimes. There's not many comments. I'm not a big YouTube guy. I don't get anything for this. I don't have that many views, but I have enough. Guys, I want to provide you guys proper information so you know what's happening in the market. If you have any interest in the GT market at all, these will do it. Hit like, hit subscribe. Every time something comes out like this, or possibly one of my Oscar-worthy listing videos, you'll watch those. They're nice to see. They're usually beautiful homes anyway. But hit likes and subscribe. Get the information. Click on the calendar link if you're actually looking to do something maybe next year. We can have a chat. No obligation, no pressure. Just like this video, giving you as much information as possible, leaving the next steps in your hands as long as you know what to do because you're informed. So, Andrew the Realtor, wishing you a fantastic rest of November. See you guys in December.